Okay, everyone, welcome to the Stock Picks Profits Daily Market Update. It's June 12th, 2018. While we're getting into our market review and talk about what we're playing, you can go ahead and post your questions. We'll get to that right after. Let's put a little welcome notice for everybody here. Welcome. Sponsored by I Love Investing, the investing lovers on Facebook. You guys watching that on that Facebook page right now. Thank you for sponsoring us. So let's get into it. Let's get into the market recap. Kind of a flat day today, right? Everything was just kind of juggling around, a little bit green in the beginning, a little bit red, a little bit green, a little bit red. There's a lot of flux going in the market right now, a lot of news cycle. You know, Trump went from the G7 to the Singapore with North Korea. He's touching down here in Hawaii for about an hour and a half this afternoon. Then he'll be back on U.S. soil and ready to face those challenges again. The way we're playing right now, you know, that Singapore summit, it seemed to have gone well. We'll see what comes out of it. A lot of promises, a lot of big ideas. Let's see what it actually turns out of. And that's the best way to deal with this. You know, love or hate Trump, man. Let's see what the actual results are before we come to any decisions. The big thing right now is the Federal Reserve meeting. Now, you see how this news cycle, it kind of goes from one focus to the next. You know, beginning of the weekend, Friday, it was all about the G7 and trade wars. You know, by the time we hit the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, it was all about Singapore and nuclear weapons. And guess what? Now we're rolling right into a Federal Reserve meeting. This is going to be an interesting meeting. Everybody's expecting a 1/4-point rate hike. And, now with the economy accelerating, a lot of people are worried that they're going to actually accelerate the rate hikes. Then you're getting another argument where they're going to slow them down. So again, do we trade opinions? No. Let's wait for the meeting and let's see what's going on. So yeah, everybody's kind of had a nice little Tuesday. Today we're almost at the midweek. So let's do this quick. What we're playing. So what we're playing right now is we're long banks, as we discussed yesterday. And there's another little argument going on in that debate, and what happens with whether it's the regional banks that are going to make money or if it's the big banks that are going to make money. Of course, we like Bank of America going forward. And if you guys are looking for a nice little regional bank, one that we don't see talked about much, that we really like, and we actually own it from December of 2016 when we made all that money off that big bank run. A lot of those option contracts we converted and we're still sitting on it, is HBAN, which is Huntington Bank. You guys take a look at that. That's a nice little play. We got into that through options. We actually got free stock because the options were up so much. Most of our holds are about $12, $13. I think it's trading at about $15 right now. So the next thing we're into right now, we of course have our gold hedge. We have a little gold hedge in here. You don't know, everything's going to go upside down. Kim's going to go back to Korea, start firing missiles. You know, Federal Reserve comes out and says Italy's going to ruin the whole world, blah, blah, blah. So let's keep that little gold hedge. And we've got our gold hedge. We took out some calls out to, if I'm not mistaken, about I think they were August. But, you know, you guys make your own decision on that. But that's the way we went with that. We opened up some new trades today. We went short the US dollar. We'll talk more specifics about that trade. Yeah, Sam, good comment. We'll talk a little bit more about the details of that trade going forward as our members get into the play. We're not going to tell you the exact play until they get theirs first. If you want to get into that, there it is. For all you people that are wondering where the party is, that's where it's at. So look, let's go ahead and get to the questions. We still think that the market is bullish. We still think the U.S. economy is doing very well. Great thing about the U.S. is it's an economy that's a tide that rises. It floats all boats. So let's see how things play out. You know, Thursday's a big day, and we'll just kind of play it by ear there. So let's get to the questions and comments. So let's start with you, Samuel. Hey, Samuel. Samuel's in California right now dealing with a wet laptop. Some of the biggest news in the world is seen in decades. Absolutely. You're talking armistice, reversal on Korea, denuclearization, you know, and just the whole thing. all of you out there that are so socially conscious, right? So worried about poverty and all that stuff. Look, this is a big opportunity for the people of North Korea. If they can get regular trade, normal trade, a little bit of interaction on a different level, their economy starts growing. They start developing their infrastructure. Life gets better for them. This is a great thing for them. On the other side of the coin, we get the fact, look, us in Hawaii especially feel the effects of this big time. You guys know the news cycle before when we had the false alert on the missile warning, all kinds of stuff. Look, we sleep well at night right now. Just knowing that there's no nuclear missiles going to be fired at us, our friends in Guam, you know what I mean? Maybe towards certain parts of the U.S., you didn't feel that pain. But we felt it, and it's such a relief. So we're very grateful to President Trump for this. So you're right, Samuel. It is some of the biggest news the world has seen in decades. That's exactly what it is. So let's see. What do you think about IQ? Nick Carson. Hey, Nick, you're back again today. All right. Regular reader. The regular viewer. IQ. Not sure which one what do you, be more specific on that one, Nick. Sorry. It's been a long day. And Sana says, hi, everyone from Sweden. Hey, Sana. What is it, about 1 o'clock in the morning in Sweden and you're tuning in? God bless you, Sana. Samuel Levitz, boom. Let's see. Yeah, Tala, you made it. Talagu from the beautiful North Shore of Hawaii, man. Great people, great place. So, yeah, Nick, more IQ. I'm trying to figure out what IQ is, and I don't know. I'm just drawing a blank. So if you can help me out with that. But let's talk a little bit while Nick's answering that. Maybe we get a few more questions. It seems like a lazy Tuesday afternoon. 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. in Sweden. Okay, we don't feel as bad then, right? Young girl like you, 11 o'clock's early. But let's talk a little bit more about it. Let's talk about the gold hedge. That's something we haven't talked to in detail, right? Why do we have a gold hedge? Why wouldn't we just wait? Why would we do that? What if something happens overnight? It was a cheap hedge. The options we bought were about 10 cents a contract. So you just put a few bucks into that. And if something does go wrong, you've got a nice little protection about, in case that big sell-off comes and it just kills the market and gold goes up. Look, and that's a good point too. Samuel wants to talk about a subject, and I agree with Samuel, and it's important to remember this. Look, Samuel in the office actually called the trade team last week, and they said, look, we're up 65% on the year. And we're like, yeah, we know. We're the ones that do the calculations. And they're like, that's not what we're calling about. And we said, what? And they say, you're only hitting 55% of your plays. How are you up so much? It's the system. We had that rough April, right? Everybody had a rough April. We had days when we were down 800 points, 700 points. The Dow is just getting the kicked out of it. Everybody was kind of suffering. We had some plays we were already into that there was just no way to bail out of them, no way to save those contracts. So we hit a little bad streak. No big deal. The system protects you. And that's why at least check it out. If you went through April and you still haven't recovered, then you might want to check things out. Because all of our members, we went into April up about what? We went into April up about 75%. We had that bad April, right? We're down a little bit. And then we came out of it. Not even a month later, we were back up to the 65%. So, and that's how you trade. Nobody wins all of your trades. Remember something, in the stock market, 96% of the people lose money, right? Why do you think that is? Right? I mean, there's like literally thousands of people, services out there like ours. You pay your $2,500 and you're in. Why are all these people losing money? It's the system. The system that we have is incredible. It's low risk. It's high leverage. It's just the way you should be trading. Let's talk about the dollar short. Why would we be short the dollar right now? I mean, things are looking so good and stuff. Well, the dollar's a little bit extended, and it's generally, you've got trade wars going on. You've got a lot of outside influences on it right now. You've got commodities spiking in prices, right? How many people are starting to pay more at the pump, right? That starts to affect personal spending. That starts to affect savings. It just affects a lot of things, right? The cost is passed right up the chain. It just starts affecting things. The dollar starts losing value. Your spending power gets less and less. And as Trump is going at these trade situations, that's probably going to put some pressure on the dollar too. So let's see if we can make some money on that. Nick is asking the introductory service, what does it offer? It's not an introductory service. It's you sign up and you're a full-fledged member. There's no everything's an introduction, and right from your first step out of the gate, you should be making money and making plays. So that's pretty much how the service works. You click that link, you go to the page, sign up, and immediately you're trading. What does it mean to short the US dollar? Good question, Sana, because you're short the US dollar right now. But let's explain it a little bit. When you go long, you're betting that a commodity or a stock or whatever you're going long in is going to appreciate in price. It's going to go up in price. What it means to short the US dollar is you're betting that the US dollar is going to go down. It's going to get weaker. Say it's trading at $1.03 right now. The US dollar always has a world valuation. What that is its value against other currencies. So sometimes when in certain situations, the US dollar goes up, sometimes it goes down. It's never worth just $1, right? What fun would that be? And so when you short the dollar, like right now, if I'm not mistaken, the dollar's trading right around $1. Depending on what currency you're playing against, we're betting that it's going to go down. It's going to lose some value. That's short the US dollar. How did we short the US dollar? Did we actually, like if you wanted to short Nike, you would just go short on Nike, right? You use puts for that. Call contracts, or when you want to go long on a stock or a commodity or an ETF, you go long. You buy calls, right? You're betting that it's going to go up. And then we used puts on a certain dollar fund that we like, that has a little bit more volatility and is a little more affected. So that's what it means to short a US dollar. That just means that you are betting that the dollar is going to lose value. And we're pretty confident about this. We're always confident. So that's kind of your market recap. And that's the best answer I can give you on that, Nick. Is a really introductory service offer. Man, yeah, you hit the ground running right out of the gate. That's what I can say. Hey, Nick, you were asking about IQ. What was the IQ on that? What do you think about IQ? No worries, Sana. Anytime, Sana. But I'd like to answer this question. Just, you know what I mean? It was asked, and I'm not sure what IQ is. I know what an IQ is. That's what we're lacking in the trade room. Just kidding. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about the news cycle then. How are you guys getting your news? That's a good question. How are you guys getting your news? Do you get it from CNN? Do you get it from Fox? Do you get it from CNBC? Do you get it from MSNBC? Do you just stay off those medias and just go with the offsprings like Daily Caller? There's a lot out there, right? There's plenty of feeds. But how do you get your news, and how does that tie into your trading? Because think about it. You don't want the news cycle to ruin your life, right? You don't want it to engulf your life. What you want to do is take advantage of it. You want to be able to capitalize on it, right? You want to it's an opportunity. So, how you get your news and how you digest your news is important. Now, our members we discussed this. They know how to deal with the news cycle, but how do you deal with the news cycle? Go ahead and post your questions on that, and we'll get to them on tomorrow's show. We'll answer that IQ question tomorrow also too, because we're going to cut a little short today. Tala, so I got a line. I'm looking to invest some of it. What would be wise? I'd say put it in your portfolio and accelerate it that way. Chinese streaming service with a recent oh, it's a stock. Okay. We'll go take a look at that tonight, Nick, and we'll get back to you on tomorrow's show. Okay. No problem. Yeah, you bet. You bet. And Sana gets hers from CNN. Okay. The only advice I can give is don't just go with one news service. Okay. Find one that goes left, find one that goes right. I'll give you guys a little tip. Find one that goes left, find one that goes right. Put your little emotions on the side and actually watch and listen. And you'll see discrepancies and you'll see logic that doesn't show on one side or the other. Now, we don't care which side is right. We want to be right. So we want to disseminate this news properly. And the way you do that is you have to get very good opinions. And you're always, to a certain extent, with media in an echo chamber. Always remember that, regardless of what news service you're watching or you like as your favorite. Always remember, to a certain extent, it's like Twitter. Twitter is an echo chamber. Okay, it's not where people go to debate. It's where people go to yell. Let's see. Should we listen to Jim Cramer? Hey, Jim Cramer he's been around forever. He's a successful trader. He's a successful businessman. Like anybody else, like even with us in our free show, you take us with a grain of salt, right? I mean, Jim Cramer, a lot of times he's right. And a lot of times in the past, he's been right. Jim Cramer's famous miss is the Bear Stearns. If you guys read the story about Jim Cramer, he was all for Bear Stearns before that big, before it went upside down and stuff. So that's like his big mistake. But in between there, he has great advice. And, you know, the guy is Johnny on the spot. He really knows every company. It's amazing how much information. It moves a little quick for the new investor to disseminate the information logically, but it's a fun show. And absolutely, Jim Cramer is a great, 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 great watch. I don't care what anybody says. Jim Cramer's fun to watch. And if you do pay attention, you will get some good tips. So yeah, Jim Cramer, why not? Sever, you are like I am. And this always blows the trading team's mind, and it blows Samuel's mind. Once that market closes, the hell with the news. I can't relax if the news is on too much. But like I said, look, it's easy to say Fox is full of it. It's easy to say CNBC is homers. It's easy to say MSNBC is this and that. But really, they all do have certain things that are very usable. And you always want to have that balance. So that's why I always say, it doesn't matter which ones you watch. Just make sure you're watching some on the left, some on the right. You know what I mean? Maybe some. Now progressiveness is kind of like establishing itself as separate from what we consider traditional liberalism. So you might actually want to get, I think MSNBC is more of a progressive than it is liberal. And that's an interesting thing too. We'll talk about before we close the show. How progressivism is separating itself from liberalism, right? I mean, it used to be pretty much the same thing in everybody's mind, but especially with this millennials coming up and they're very focused on environment, they're very focused on social issues. It's actually kind of pulled it away from that liberal base, right? So keep that in mind. Leave it for you to focus them. Tala's smart. You know, if you leave the decision out to somebody else, you always got somebody to blame. But look, hey gang, you know, Sever is more like myself. Roland is more like a lot of the people on the trade team. They like Jim Cramer. They like CNBC. Samuel, I know Samuel because we're personal friends too. He likes to watch different ones. You'll see Samuel watching all kinds of different stuff. Hey, and don't be afraid to throw some Alex Jones in there. Yeah. Conspiracy nut, whatever. But sometimes he's got some really, really good shows. and just listen to him. You don't have to agree with him. Just listen to him. Hear another viewpoint. Get out of the echo chamber. That's the biggest thing about the news cycle is don't let yourself get put in that echo chamber. Personally, I don't watch the news outside of the market because I'm one of those people that I think I'm smarter than all these people. So I get put in the echo chamber real quick. And that's not healthy. Let's see. Hey, Sever. You always come out with some good stuff, man. A bird needs both a left wing and a right wing in order to fly straight. Just like the United States of America, man. The right side and the left side play very important parts in us progressing as a country. So, and the main thing is, though, whether you're left, right, middle, libertarian, whatever, remember that first you are an American, okay? It's all about us succeeding as a country, okay? Don't root against anyone just because you don't like them. And in the effort of rooting against them, their failure is our country's failure, okay? We always want our country to succeed. We are Americans. Now, Sever and Sana, I know you guys live in different countries, and anybody that's watching the show that's living in different countries, that's not a protectionist. That's not we're not isolating ourselves from the rest. Every country is like that. You should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of Sweden. You should be proud of Norway. You should be proud if you're from any country on the planet, Spain, Portugal. You should have some nationalism and some patriotism. That's important for you as a people. Every country has its own identity. Every country has its own thing. Be proud of that. Be proud of that. You know, just because you hate Donald Trump, don't root against the economy. Just because you don't like Donald Trump, don't root against the Korea negotiations or the G7 and stuff. You know what I mean? You're rooting against America. Don't do that. It's like in stock pick profits, you know, if you didn't like me or you didn't like somebody on the trade team rooting against the picks, you're not rooting against me. You're rooting against all the members, right? They're the ones going to lose money. So same thing with the country, man. We're all going to suffer. If this is a failure, we're all going to suffer. And I'll remind you one more time. In Hawaii, oh, aloha, Samuel. I know you're at seminars and stuff. Aloha, Samuel. Thank you for jumping on, brother. I know you were busy today, man. It's great. It's great to have you as always. Okay, Samuel? So I'll wish Samuel a great day. But to get back to that subject, you know, let's all just remember that, okay? We root for each other. Never look down on another man except to give him a hand up, okay? I want you guys to remember that. Anybody watching this, never look down on another person except to give them a hand up, okay? Live your life like that, all right? So, you know, we're going to kind of wrap it up. It looks like we're just getting little hello comments and stuff like that. It's been a kind of interesting Tuesday. You know, things will pick up tomorrow. We'll probably have a more lively show, more to talk about and stuff like that. After this, you know, we rolled into the G7, then we rolled into Singapore. It's normal that the market and traders just kind of take a breather and step back and just kind of analyze things. And we did that today, even though we added the dollar short play. And those of you that are curious about the actual specifics of that play, you tune in over the next day or two, and we'll reveal that to you. Look, if all our members are in, we'll release the play for free, and you guys can jump in it if you want. And all we care is that all our members get in before we release the information. So if you guys want to play along, we'll release the pick as soon as everybody's in. We confirm that. Okay. So look, from Honolulu, Hawaii, beautiful sunny day. You guys have a fantastic day today. And remember that no matter how you feel about leaders, no matter how you feel about politics, never look down on another man except to give him a hand up. Okay? We're all in this together. Let's all have fun. You guys have a great day. It's been a fantastic Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Aloha.